our alliance is helping people around the world in their own pursuit of happiness, the security and prosperity and dignity that they seek for their families and for their nations. Madam President.
Mr. President, thank you very much for your remarks. I also thank you and the American people for the very warm welcome you've extended to me throughout my visit. Now, in today's summit, you and I discussed not only the Korea-U.S. alliance, but also issues surrounding the Korean Peninsula, the Northeast Asia, and a shared global agenda. During the past 2.5 years, we've been able to creatively resolve such sensitive issues as the conditions-based transition of operational control and the revision after 42 years of the Nuclear Cooperation Agreement, which evidences that the Korea-U.S. alliance is stronger than ever. Our alliance is now moving beyond a security alliance and an economic alliance and evolving into a comprehensive global alliance. The biggest threat to peace and security on the Korean Peninsula and in Northeast Asia is North Korean provocation and advancement of North Korea's nuclear capabilities. And President Obama and I shared recognition in many aspects of this issue. First, to deter any strategic provocation by the North, Korea and the U.S. will continue to strengthen coordinated efforts with the international community, including China, Russia, and Japan. And to this end, we will try to fully utilize the various regional and multilateral gatherings that are to take place. Second, with a sense of urgency and firm commitment, we have agreed to strengthen diplomatic efforts to resolve the North Korean nuclear problem. On the basis of Korea-U.S.-Japan cooperation, we will strengthen coordination among the other 5 parties, while Korea and the United States will deepen consultations with other countries, including China. Third, should North Korea demonstrate a genuine willingness towards denuclearization, we reaffirm that Korea and the U.S., along with the rest of the international community, stand ready to extend cooperative measures to the North. In our discussions, we looked beyond the current pressing issues of the Korean Peninsula and engaged in deeper discussions about the future of the Korean Peninsula. With regard to the changing situation in the Korean Peninsula and in the process of peaceful reunification, we will continue to pursue mutually coordinated policies on North Korea. At the same time, to create conditions conducive to peaceful reunification, we will also deepen high-level strategic consultations between Korea and the U.S. I would also like to thank President Obama for his support for the Korean government's ideas on peaceful reunification. Today, we adopted a joint statement on North Korea that contains our shared recognition on these related issues. The Korea-U.S. alliance is the linchpin of peace and stability in the Asia-Pacific, and there exists a synergy between President Obama's rebalancing policy in the Asia-Pacific and our Northeast Asia Peace and Cooperation Initiative, or NAPC. And I would like to thank President Obama for his warm words of welcome and strong support for NAPC. In late October, the second high-level NAPC forum will be held in Seoul, and I hope that Korea and the United States will continue to engage in close cooperation in that forum and beyond. President Obama also recognized Korea's initiative in reviving Korea-Japan-China trilateral talks that had been on hold for the past 3.5 years. And he also expressed his high hopes for the Korea-Japan-China summit that will be held in 2 weeks' time. We also shared the recognition that such meetings may meaningfully contribute to the improvement of bilateral relations in our region. President Obama affirmed that Korea-U.S. relations and Korea-China relations can be compatible and supported Korea's policies toward China. The recent summit meetings between Korea and China, the U.S. and China, and now Korea and the U.S. have served to build consensus regarding North Korea and its nuclear program. And we believe that this will play a positive role in ensuring peace and stability on the Korean Peninsula and throughout Northeast Asia. In dealing with the North Korean nuclear problem, we will also seek to strengthen cooperation between Korea, U.S., and Japan. I believe that strengthening three-way dialogue between Korea, the US, and Japan, Korea, Japan, and China will enable us to open new channels for stronger regional cooperation. Regional peace and stability becomes stronger when countries within the region build closer ties of mutual economic dependency. In this regard, I would like to congratulate President Obama for the successful conclusion of TPP negotiations. Korea and the US already have an FTA with very high standards, and in this respect, I believe that we make natural partners in terms of the TPP. Since TPP negotiations have now been concluded, we will be engaging in closer cooperation with regard to Korea's possible participation in the TPP. Today's meeting was particularly meaningful in that it provides impetus to our efforts to open new frontiers of cooperation within the Korea-US alliance and strengthens our global partnership. Korea and the United States will focus first on health security, cybersecurity, space, and Arctic cooperation, which are gaining the spotlight in this 21st century. In the realm of space, particularly, we will work to quickly conclude talks on the Korea-US Agreement on Space Cooperation to establish an institutional foundation for such cooperation. In the cyber world, too, in order to enhance common response capabilities against cyber attacks, we have agreed to establish a hotline between the White House and the Blue House for cyber cooperation. On global issues, President Obama and I, on the occasion of the 70th anniversary of the United Nations, have agreed to strengthen cooperation on climate change, development cooperation, UN peacekeeping operations, nuclear security, humanitarian aid for refugees, violent extremism, and other urgent global issues. Today's summit served as an opportunity to set forth a clear vision and strategy for the future of the Korea-US alliance. In forging a new Korean Peninsula, a new Northeast Asia, and a new world, I'm confident that the Korea-US alliance will continue to evolve into a comprehensive